Hi, my name is Fabrice Norman and I'm going to help you get started with the FileMaker platform in 10 minutes. So the first thing I do is I go to the fmcloud.fm website, and here I just accept this banner and I click here on the chatbot and I ask for FileMaker hosting. This is the first thing I do and you'll see why. I ask to deploy a trial server and then they ask me a couple of questions just for me to receive the email in the end. So I've got to give my name is Fabrice. I'll give my email address to receive the confirmation email. I have to give my consent to some things about privacy, and then I simply have to choose the data center which is the nearest from my place, and then I just have to give a server name. So let's call it get started for this demo, and that's it. So I just have to confirm here. And what does the bot say? Oh, it's already working, so it's now deploying this server, and I should find a confirmation email in my mailbox. So that's what I'm going to check. Let's check on my inbox, and I've got this message, and this message contains everything I need to get started with. So the first thing I do is I download FileMaker Pro. In case you haven't FileMaker Pro yet, you can download it right from the email. That's why the first thing to do was to deploy a server. And while the software is downloading, we're going to take a look at this email. So there's some links to help about security and how to upload. But first thing I'm going to do is get my admin console password. And I can then open the admin console of my server. My login is get started, same as my server name, and I can just paste the password I just copied, and that's it. I'm now in the server FileMaker server admin console, and this is where I can admin the databases. For now we have no database in the list, as you can see, and now my software is just finished downloading, so I can just install it. Let's double click, and on the Mac you just have to drag that icon to the application folder, and it takes a little bit more time on Windows, but then when this is done, you just double click the application folder and open the FileMaker Pro app. So here I'm on the Create tab, and I can start a new app by selecting a template, and this is what we're going to do, we are going to start from scratch with a blank file. And I'm going to name that file my first app and save it. So now you see it appeared on the desktop. And by the way, I'm going to close these dialogues here and go back to FileMaker. So a FileMaker file contains everything: the database, the interface, scripts, and everything. The first thing, of course, is the database. So let's define a table. So my first app is the table name for now. Let's change this to contacts, for instance. And then within a table, what you need to have is fields, which are columns. So let's create the name and first name columns or fields. And that's it for now. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the File menu and go to the Manage submenu, where there is everything you need, but I'm going to select Security from here. First, I'm going to make sure that the guest access is disabled. And then I have my full access account, which is admin, that was automatically created, has no password. This is why it's shown in red. So I'll define a password and for this full access account, and now it looks much better. The next thing I have to do, I'm going to go to the advanced setting or hit the little pencil here, but I'm going to go to the advanced setting, select the full access privilege set, which is the one for the admin account, and I'm going to enable this FM app access via FileMaker network access. And I can also, but I could do this later, but I will do it now, enable the web direct access for that account. And then one thing you might want to check if you have an older file is check that this box is checked. With recent versions, it's now checked by default, so you have nothing to do. And then that's it with security. I'm just going to click OK and confirm my password just to make sure that I remember it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is going to File Options. And here I can define the minimum version allowed to open this file. I'm going to set it to 20.1, and I will select another account that has no full access to login, or simply disable the automatic login. This is for security reason. And then now I have my first app is ready to upload and is secured. So you see, remember, I have no file on the server and the admin console. I can see that. And I will now go to sharing, upload to host. Then of course I should close this file, and I will now configure a host by hitting the little button here. And you remember the address was getstarted.fmcloud.fm. And with that host, I need to input my server credentials. The server credentials are used only for admin console, the file upload dialog that we see here, and also with fmcloud.fm with the access to FTP with FTP2 backups. Apart from that, I may want to change the location where I want to upload the files, but you really don't have to. And by the way, if you have a multiple file solution, you can select multiple files in this dialog just by hitting the browse button and selecting multiple files. In this case, I have only one single file to upload. And that's it. I'm just going to upload the file to the server, and I have the option to open it directly with FileMaker Pro. And this is what I'm going to do. And again, this is my password to the database, not to the server, because I'm just trying to open the database file. And that's it. I'm here and I have my database, and as you can see in the window title, it's hosted on my server. But I can absolutely keep modifying it, go back to the tables, add new tables, new fields, manage security and other things, just as we were doing locally a minute ago. And now in my admin console, as you can see, there is a file here, and you can see a connected user, which is myself, and I connected with FileMaker Pro, and I can see the version of my application. Now we're going to go back to the confirmation email. And you remember here there was a link, and there is a link to access my application via WebDirect. But before I can do this, I have to go to the admin console and I have to enable WebDirect. So I go to the connectors panel, and I have to switch on the web publishing engine and WebDirect, 2 items here. From now on, I can connect directly to the WebDirect interface, or by clicking the link from the email, or by tapping my server address /fmi/webd. And then again, this is going to be my I have to input my credentials to the database, not the server. Here is the list of the databases this account gives access to. and we'll key in my credentials again. And here my file is open in Safari. So as you can see in the admin console, we have now two different clients. One is using WebDirect with Safari and one is using FileMaker Pro. And now if I go in with Pro to the layout mode and I place the fields I had in my table directly by dragging them onto the layout, and I exit the layout mode to go back to browse mode, as you can see, I have nothing to do, and in Safari, in WebDirect, I can see that the layout was updated and I can see the new look of my interface. I'm going to use Safari to edit this record. So I'll key in John Doe, and the minute I click on the background, it commits the record and I can see the modification here in Pro. I can do it the other way around. I modify this record and immediately it is modified in WebDirect. There is nothing to reload or anything. Now going back to layout mode, I'm going to show you that you can also change the layout theme to give a completely different look to your application. Let's select this theme and save the layout by going back to browse mode. Immediately, WebDirect is updated and you can start working. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now it's your turn.